Hello guys and welcome to my channel. I'm super happy that you're here. Thanks for tuning in and I'm hoping you're ready for a Christmas inspired review because I thought let's talk about some fragrances that remind me of Christmas or in general fragrances that I recommend for the Christmas Eve and the Christmas season. So before I start, my name is Martin and I do perfume reviews, and if you're new here, as I already said, I'm doing reviews talking about fragrances, whether it's niche, designer, dupes, Arabian fragrances like Middle Eastern scents. And if this sounds like something you're into, then please consider subscribing. And yeah, let's go. So I'm really in the mood for talking about fragrances, Christmas fragrances, and I think Christmas is a very special time in general, winter, because this is usually the time where you can wear like the heaviest and strongest gourmand scents and heavy on the vanilla, on the oud, everything that usually is a little bit too overwhelming on the warmer days. And one of the fragrances I would like to start talking about is this one here. This is really a good one, Khaltat Night by the Auteur collection. I already talked about that fragrance. I still have it in my collection. This really is a super long lasting scent, so I have it like for a year now. I do wear it often and maybe like I've only used half of it, if not even less. And this is a beautiful, strong oriental cherry fragrance with some apple, of course, but I think the main character here is like the cherry combination with the patchouli, and I think that also you have tobacco in here. I do get like that smokiness, that tobacco in here, that earthiness from the patchouli. To me, this smells like a mixture of the Orient, like an Oriental bazaar mixed with like the typical European Christmas kind of markets, if you know what I mean. It's like a mixture of that, very Christmassy, perfect for the colder days, super strong, very potent, and I definitely like get around 8 to 9 hours lasting power. And I think it leaves a beautiful sillage. It's great for layering as well, but a stunning scent on its own. The next fragrance is Majd Al Sultan by Asdaf. This one here is a very smoky fragrance. You have the incense in here, you have saffron in here, some spicy touches, and it has like a semi-sweet vanilla kind of dry down. But this one is very oriental, also unisex, but I feel like more on the masculine side. However, I always say there's no gender to fragrances. I think everyone can wear that. So if you like smoky fragrances, if you like incense, if you like spices like saffron, you're gonna love this one. This one is extremely long lasting. It lasts me like for days on clothing, but it's not like long lasting, or how can I say, like projecting as long as that. So I think when it comes to projection, you get around 3 to 4 hours, like a stronger projection, then it kind of starts to dry down. But on the skin still, you can smell it the whole day. On the clothes, a few days, if not like a week or two. Very long lasting, super strong, very inexpensive. I paid this one, I think, 15 euro. I think this is a very good price and you get an amazing quality. Then the next one we have here, Khamra, one of the most hyped fragrances this year. I think this is such a stunning scent. I've already talked about this fragrance often. This is my second bottle now. And what we have here is not an Angel Share dupe in my personal opinion, but it's very similar to it. And if you like Angel Share, you're probably gonna love this one. And what I personally love to do is I like to use Angel Share and layer it with Khamra. So what you have is some dried fruits, dates. I think there's tuberose in here as well. But what I mostly get is like a super sweet opening. It smells like freshly baked apple pie, very, very sweet, heavy on the vanilla. Also very oriental as well, long lasting and unisex, so you do have to like very sweet fragrances to enjoy this one. And to me, this is very long lasting. I've heard mixed reviews about this one, but I get like without a doubt 7 to 8 hours lasting power, and I think this is actually long enough to call it a long lasting fragrance. It projects beautifully and it's not very expensive. I paid like I think 40 euro, 45 euro. So for that price, you can definitely overspray in case it's not long lasting on you. And yes, that's it. The next scent. I'm really trying my best to keep the review as short as possible, not too long, maybe like under 10 minutes. This is the next one here, Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. A stunning fragrance. I also talked about this one recently. This one reminds me of Christmas because it is spicy as well. You have the tobacco vanilla mixture, as the name already says. You have like that cacao, which adds some like sweet bitterness to it, and some dried fruits. I think this sounds like Christmas itself. You have all that beautiful aromatic touches, or how can I say, like this different aromas mixed together. And I think this is a very well blended scent, even though it's quite bitter and very long lasting. This is what I love, because Tom Ford fragrances, in my personal opinion, often are not really extremely long lasting, and for that price they actually should be. However, this one really is one of the longer lasting scents from Tom Ford. I get around, I would say 8-9 hours. I would say strong projection in the first 2 hours. It leaves also beautiful sillage. I love to layer this scent. I love to layer it with, for example, Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. I love to layer this one with Roses Vanille by Mancera, and many other fragrances as well. And I think this is amazing and stunning, especially if you're like in the Christmas mood, and also a big compliment getter. Then what we have next, this one here is a hidden gem, Al Arik, or Al Arij, I'm not sure right now, but this is a fragrance from Latafa, and this is from their Pride collection. This is such a stunning scent. I got this one as a present for my birthday, and I love it. I loved it the first time I smell it, and I love it every time more and more when I wear this one. So this one here, oh, this one is smoky, it's sweet. You have the saffron in here, you have incense, you have leather, like a beautiful leather note. And this one here is very similar to Baby Cat by Yves Saint Laurent. So if you're looking for a dupe, or if you're looking for something that's similar enough, this one is definitely similar enough. It is long lasting. I would even call it a beast mode scent. It projects immensely, like really strong projection. If you overspray this one, people are gonna smell you. They're gonna smell you all the time. If they want it or don't, they're definitely gonna smell it. I wouldn't say that this is like an overwhelming scent. You know, sometimes you overspray a fragrance and then it like chokes out someone else, or you're choking yourself out. With this one, I don't have the problem at all. A lot of compliments already I got from that scent, and I think this is stunning. As I already said, saffron, leather, and it has like a very beautiful sweet dry down, very similar to Baby Cat by YSL. So we have a few more fragrances. This one here is a Cheapy Noir by Pascal Morabito. I don't use this one very often, but I love to use this one around the Christmas season. This one here goes into the direction of Red Tobacco by Mancera. And Red Tobacco by Mancera I tried. I got a big tester, and I don't really like it that much. I really just like the dry down, but the fragrance on its own, I don't think very well blended. It's just not my type of fragrance. However, this one here, I think, is kind of softer, more well blended. It's not very harsh, and it is very similar. I would say like 60 to 70%. So if you're looking not for an exact dupe for a fragrance, but for a fragrance that's very similar to Red Tobacco, you're gonna love this one. And what you have here is, as far as I know, you have the apple in here, and you do get the apple. You have, according to Pascal Morabito, like to different websites, oud, but I don't really get oud in here. And if there's oud, it's just a little tiny bit. It's a very smoky, it smells like, how can I say, it's like someone is smoking cigarettes, you know, like cigarettes in a room, and then you're left with that after smell, let's say like that. And then you have like a baked, like a red apple, baked red apple kind of cake. Like this is the vibe I'm getting from it, if you're getting what I mean. And honestly, it's not a safe blind buy, but for the price, because I only paid I think 15 euros, so under 20 euro you can get that scent. I think that's totally fine with me. The only thing is it's not very long lasting. I would say like 4 to 5 hours. It projects good in the first 1 to 2 hours, and then it also dries down to a skin scent, but totally fine with me, because I'm not like the biggest fan and I don't wear it that often, and if I wear it, I also layer it with other fragrances. Then this one here. Everyone knows that one, everyone loves this one, Angel Share by Kilian, and it really deserves all the hype it gets. I think such a stunning scent, and I remember the first time I smelled this one, I didn't like it at all. And then I gave this one another try, and the more often I smell and wear it, I love it even more. This one really entered my top 10, and I think the name says it all. Angel Share. It's such a mysterious, angelic kind of scent. There's like a warmth you get from that fragrance. You have that apple pie kind of vibe as well. And I think everything that smells like caramel and apple pie automatically just makes you think of Christmas. And I think that this one here is a masterpiece because it is on the one hand very polarizing, and on the other hand, again, people just love it. I think this is not like the type of fragrance you smell the first time and it's like love on the first sniff. But the more you give it a chance, the more you just try it out, the more it's intoxicating. And I think it really takes you like on an adventure, if I can say so. And I think it's perfect for the winter. Big compliment getter, long lasting, super expensive, but it really, really deserves the hype, and I think it's worth the money, definitely. So we have a few more fragrances, not a lot are left. This one is another cheapie by Zara, Rich, Warm, Addictive. And I think this is a must-have for all the gourmand lovers. If it's like a fragrance you need to have as a gourmand lover from Zara, it's this one here. And what I love, first of all, that this is not really duping another scent as far as I know. Like all the Zara fragrances are actually dupes. This one here is kind of fragrance on its own. Maybe it resembles a different one, but I've never smelled a fragrance that smells like this one. And you don't have a very complex scent profile. You, as far as I know, you have that rum in here, so it is kind of boozy. And if I'm not mistaken, carnation, but it is not very floral. To me, it smells like a sweet dessert with coconut and rum, you know? So, and automatically, like everything that's with rum, everything that's kind of boozy, again, gives off that Christmas vibe. And I love that. Super inexpensive, under 20 euro. Not long lasting. I don't care for that price. You can overspray like 30, 40 sprayers. I know like maybe I'm overdoing it, but it is such a nice scent, and it's long, and it's just, as I said, not very long lasting, but after 30 sprayers, I guarantee it's gonna be strong enough and people will smell you and they will give you the compliments, because every time when I wore this one, people were like asking me, what is that? And then they were like even more shocked when I tell them it's a Zara fragrance, because I do have like a big collection of fragrances, and not every fragrance needs to be niche. Not every fragrance needs to be like over 200 euro. Sometimes the cheapies are doing an amazing job and they deserve the hype as well. And I think this one deserves even more hype. Super stunning. Then we have another cheapie, which is Pink Sugar by Aquilina. And I don't know, I mean, it's an oldie. I think you have this fragrance on the market for like over 20 years now. And I remember I just bought this one just to have a nice vanilla scent to layer it. I never tried it before, it was a blind buy. I got this and was like, oh, this is super nice actually. I don't wear this one on its own, but I love to layer this one. And this smells like cotton candy, which automatically actually reminds me of like that Christmas market where like that super sweet candies and candy floss and everything. Just automatically when I smelled this one, I was like, okay, this has like that Christmas vibe, especially where I live in Austria, like Austria, Germany, like the Christmas markets, the candies and the desserts and all the sweets they sell there have that vibe or that smell of that fragrance. And also very inexpensive, 20 euro, 22 euro, and super long lasting. Even though this is an eau de toilette, it is extremely long lasting. I get beast mode if I overspray this one like with 30 sprayers. I can smell myself all day long, like all day long, and it's a big compliment getter. Of course, as I already said, I like to layer this one, so I'm layering this one, for example, with Oud for Glory by Latafa. This is such a nice fragrance combination I like to do, and definitely worth it if you're looking for a Christmas scent. I also think that this is a nice date night scent as well, especially like for a woman. This is very intoxicating, and I've seen a lot of reviews actually, in people, especially men, that smelled this scent. They were like, wow, this is stunning, this is amazing. Also all the comments I saw from girls commenting that this is their date night scent, and they always get a lot of compliments. So this is like an extra. It's not only great for Christmas, but also like for date nights. And we have left two more. Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. Again, an apple pie kind of fragrance with some caramel. You know, it's sweet, it's very gourmand, perfect for the gourmand lovers. Long lasting, not very expensive. I paid this one, I think, 40 euro on Notino. Sometimes the price is very high, around 80 or 90 euros on Amazon. Really just depends on where you buy it and if the fragrance is on the market. You know, sometimes not many websites sell the fragrance, and then automatically on Amazon it's very expensive, and then you can see this one on like a lot of different websites, and then you can get this one for 40 euro, and I think this is totally fine with me. And I'm not sure if this is really duping a fragrance. I think I saw a comment where someone was commenting on the scent that it's a dupe for some fragrance, but I cannot remember the name. However, other than that, I think it's stunning. It smells like a apple pie with like caramel on top, and I think it's so stunning, very edible, very just intoxicating and seductive as well, and automatically reminds me of Christmas as well. And then the last fragrance, and I think this is like the most Christmas kind of scent I have in my collection, which is Instant Crush by Montserrat. First of all, I got this one around Christmas last year, which of course, when I smell this, because I used to wear it often that time, when I smell this, automatically I think of Christmas. Other than that, this is definitely a fragrance on its own. It is similar to Baccarat Rouge. It has like that DNA, but very different. You have like that ginger, which like automatically just reminds me of like gingerbread. And then you have like the floral touches, and you have that saffron, that spices, and it's kind of like zesty, like lemon cake as well, because you have lemon in here as well. And so like it's gonna remind you, or let's say it reminds me of different sweet pastries and just Christmas inspired dishes and desserts, and also very gourmand, very sweet, very seductive as well. Big compliment getter, very long lasting, of course. I mean, a lot of people know this fragrance if you're like in the perfume community. If you don't know it, I'm explaining it to you, and it's just, I think, stunning. Reminds me of a Christmas market again, and just very sensual and even comforting. I think this is a scent that automatically like brings some magic and like into your life. When I smell this, it's just like automatically uplifting my mood. I love that. And also like the bottle, like that golden bottle, it's like liquid gold inside. This is how I would describe it. So this is my collection of fragrances that reminds me of Christmas. A lot of great fragrances, perfect on their own, perfect for layering. Actually, I love layering in general. There's not one day I think where I'm going just with one scent. I need to layer it with another one, which makes it more unique and more individual. And yes, as I said, my recommendations for you, if you're looking for some nice fragrances for the Christmas season. And I would love to know your fragrances, or your recommendations and your experience with the fragrances, if you have them, or with other fragrances in general, and what brings you in the mood for some Christmas vibes. If you liked the video, then please hit the like button, and I hope to see you very soon for another review. Thank you.